You guys done yet?
Pick up shoes, dude.
No. I drive.
I pulled something in my back.
This isn't a union job, dude. Unload the shoes.
No, I drove all the way out here. Plus, it stinks so
Yeah,
bad.
they fucking stink.
I know.
I don't smell anything.
Yeah.
What? Then pick up shoes, dude.
Yeah. You took this job.
He said we were on a union break, so that's fine.
No one said anything about a union.
I pulled something in my back, dude.
Yeah,
This is
fuck
not
this.
a union job.
I can't. The werewolf, the heightened sense of smell is too bad. I gotta go back up to the cab.
How'd you pull your back moving a pair of shoes at a time?
Don't worry about it, dude. I have a bad back. I've told you that multiple times.
Okay, I have so many shoes. You're carrying a pair at a time.
I don't need spray paint to help me through the pain.
You know who could have helped with this?
Who?
That rock creature that we found.
The dude came out of the woods, dude. He didn't.
No, he came out of the rock. Here, you guys unload some shoes. I'm going to go get the rock again.
No, I'm the only one here.
Load shoes, dude.
This is... I should have never listened to my mom and applied at that store.
I'm not smoking, by the way. I'm getting the rock.
Put the cigarette down, dude.
No,
you know
said,
you're not supposed to be doing that.
You said we're on union break.
No, we are. You are not. You didn't pay the due.
Okay, I got the rock.
You've had the rock.
All right, Dan, pray.
I'm not praying to
Pray,
the
dude.
fucking
Pray to the rock.
No,
Pray to the
dude.
rock.
It was, they put an extra burrito in the Taco Bell order the other day. It wasn't the rock, dude. It was an
the rock.
accident.
It was the rock, dude. The rock has blessed our journey.
It wasn't, dude. No, it wasn't.
It is.
It was a coinky dink, dude.
No.
Like,
Well, you
come on.
took a pretty big bite for it to be a coincidence.
Who loaded this, by the way? It is just everywhere.
It's hot.
It's Bones is driving, I'm sure.
It's hot and they stink so bad.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a little waft of it.
Ugh.
What the? Did you hear that?
Dan, our prayers have been answered.
What the fuck?
He's
Where
here.
the fuck have you guys been?
What are you doing back here?
Dan, he
You
came out of the
put me
rock.
back here.
No,
No,
he
I
came
didn't come out of the
Yes,
fucking
he came out of the
rock.
rock.
He didn't come out of the rock, dude. I told
Yes, he
you.
did.
You said you were going to drop me off at the next Loves and have been back here for God knows how long. There's no lights.
I could have swore we like hugged you and said bye and stuff.
Yeah, before you closed the door and started driving.
Oh, shit.
What's the spirit realm like?
He didn't come out of
There's
the
a
rock.
lot of shoes. I can tell you that much.
All right.
Whoa.
Well, since you're here, you need to help us, dude. Like, we need to get this loaded.
I'm
onto
not
this
fucking
dock.
helping you.
You got free ride,
Good.
bro. What are you?
A free ride to a shoe warehouse or whatever the fuck this is.
These stink bad, huh?
Ass, cash, or gas, bro? Like, come on.
Dan, we shouldn't talk to him like that until we understand the full extent of his powers.
Do you think
Okay.
he's powerful or the rock?
I think they're like the same thing. They're
Yeah,
like
no,
entity.
I'm powerful. Let's go with that. I'm powerful. Please take me somewhere other than here and let me go.
Hey, hold on. We never held you hostage, okay? Let's just say that. Let's just both say that. Say we never held you hostage.
I'm not saying that.
well, Dan, it's a curse or something that holds him in the rock.
Don't listen to him. He's in a movement right now. Bones. The rock guy, or the guy from the forest is here.
You could call
Still.
him Rock Guy.
No, that was
He
a
comes
mistake.
out of the rock.
Jesus, you stink.
Rockman's here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been in the back the whole time. I thought we dropped him off like a week ago.
Is he going to
No.
help you unload?
He's saying no. He's very pissed off. He's saying hostage a lot.
We gave him a ride. Come on.
That's what I said. Ass, gas, or help with shoes.
feel like we went over this already. Just please let me go.
Nobody's holding you back, dude. Like,
All right, then if you're not going to give me a ride, I may as well just see how I fare in those woods over there, because to be honest with you, it was a lot better just being at the woods.
You could just go back in the rock till we need you again.
I was never in the rock.
he wasn't in the rock, dude.
He's kind of like I'm getting a vibe from him that he's like a trickster god.
Tell
I think
him maybe he helps load or unload. We'll take him to Love's.
All right. If you help us unload this, we'll take you to Love's. I'll even buy you a shower.
That's all I want. I just want a shower and a hot link off the roller.
Okay. All right. Well, Kron, we're
Hot
off the
apple.
union break.
I want a hot apple.
We'll get Bones a hot apple.
We'll get you a hot apple, buddy.
Bones is going to bring the extra TV around. We got a little entertainment while we're doing all this stinky mess that Kron got us into. Because tonight on 5 Day Rentals, it's Child's Play. Welcome back, everybody, to 5 Day Rentals. We're the only podcast on the run. Tonight, we're covering Child's Play from 1988, a fucking classic. I'm Laundry Dan. I'm going to be taking you through this wild little bad guy journey. And I can't do it alone. I'm here with two guys that have life-sized dolls. Bones and Kron Howard, how are you?
Doing good. Mine's just for fucking, though.
That's what I meant.
Oh, okay.
I would never soil my lady like that.
You haven't, you guys haven't went that far yet?
No.
It's been 2 years, Bones.
God
It's,
damn, dude.
it's called companionship, buddy. Try it out.
Did you get the Christian, sex doll company accidentally?
Okay, honestly, I haven't figured out how to get the plastic off around that area.
Oh, so she's wearing a condom.
Yeah, I'm it just feels weird to get a pair of scissors down there, you know?
You just
Yeah.
bust through.
We know you use an X-Acto knife, dude. Come on.
No.
Yeah.
My junk
But-
is strong, dude.
But you know what? After I tried for a few months and I gave up, and then it was just nice to have somebody to talk to. Somebody with no judgment. Somebody who didn't try to solve your problems. Somebody who doesn't,
All right, I'll make an order. All right, you guys convinced me.
The new
Brewster's
model-
Millions over here,
Yeah,
dude.
the new models, man. I don't know about that. They require a Wi-Fi connection and shit. They're tracking your data. My girl's analog.
It's already out there anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta find Dan a Cherry 2000 out in the desert, dude.
That's a car, but okay.
I'm pretty sure it's a sex bot in the movie.
Yeah, whatever. I think it's a car. I'll drive it.
Okay.
All right. Hey, we're not alone tonight. We got Chris from Dead Formats. Couldn't stay away. I said Child's Play, and he got so excited, he decided to come in a week after and join us.
I did. It's been a long week thinking about Child's Play. All these past 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you had the time to get it in.
That's
those
why
7 days.
we schedule these like that, so you got a full week to set with it and really ponder.
Decide if you really want to set through this type of shit.
There's no guilt tripping or calling of bluffs. Nope.
But you've seen him before, folks. He's done I completely forgot my Chuck Norris knockoff. The very controversial Pin episode.
Nothing controversial about it, dude.
Still
I think
raging
the controversy
today.
is laid to rest.
And he's also done Kron's Lil Bad Guy movie Rumpelstiltskin from last week. We are in another Kron category. Little Bad Guy, One Night Under the Big Top, Puppets Revenge 17.
Well, it's not a puppet category, dude. It's a Little Bad Guy category. You could have picked a dwarf.
Did you have a
But
dwarf movie pick?
He's fun.
He's
a little fun guy.
He gets into mischief.
Isn't that what you want?
He doesn't kill anybody. You're very adamant that there must be murder.
Dude, dwarf has definitely killed somebody.
Why didn't you do like Little Bad Killer?
Well, that's not good.
Anyway.
Chris, what's your history with Child's Play?
Man, it's hard to imagine a movie that I have more history with than Child's Play. I don't know if you guys had this growing up, but we, grocery stores would rent out videos back in the day. And I guess the area where we lived in, there was a lot of theft. So sort of like how Toys R Us, you'd go in the video game aisle and you wouldn't be able to actually pick up the video game. You'd pick up a slip and bring it to a front counter. I do remember that at this grocery store, there was just a picture, one of those small 3x4 cards of the Child's Play VHS, and just walking by it would make me freak the fuck out. I was very terrified of Chucky as a child, but I got over it, and I think to say I've seen this 50 times may be a conservative estimate. It's one of those things that I just grew up with and became part of the fabric of my being.
Well, that's fucking so heartfelt, and I'm glad you're here tonight.
Me too.
You've never covered Child's Play on any other podcasts or anything?
So actually, on a podcast I did a long time ago, about 6 years ago, this was the first movie I covered, along with 10 to Midnight, and I don't remember the third one, but it was a themed category type thing.
Hell yeah. Kron Howard, Child's Play, has it been in your life?
I've definitely not seen this 50 times. I would say closer to 5. I mean, probably caught this first at a sleepover. This seems like that kind of thing. I don't know. Probably on TV a couple times, but I mean, we were talking before pod. I do think this is the only Child's Play I've ever seen. So
Bounty?
two through whatever have eluded me.
I didn't sit down and go through the series until a few years ago. Chucky was always one of those playground characters where somebody had mentioned that they had seen it and, tells the story about it. You come up with your own sort of lore of what you think it is. And then USA, I feel like they would show a lot of the sequels, which is usually the way, those are cheaper to have in syndication, I guess. So for the longest time, I had parts of the first 3 just sort of meshed together. And then I remember when, is Bride of Chucky when he kind of comes back?
Yeah.
Jennifer Tilly. That being a big deal, a lot of kids in school going to see it Friday night, and just being it really was never any interest to me. And then when I finally saw it, I was like, okay, I get the appeal of this. This thing is better than it needs to be.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the ones my parents didn't really care if I rented, so I rented it all the time. And of course, it was at sleepovers and USA as well. I haven't watched them in a long time, though.
I, to this day, have a videotape where I recorded Child's Play 1 and 2 off of the USA and TNT network.
Fuck yeah.
But it had been a while. And I figured no sense in trying to dig enough to piss Kron off and have a 3-second puppet clip and call it a puppet movie. So once again, I'm appeasing Kron Howard. And
you never appease me, and this is not a puppet lock category.
I didn't say that. I love how you play this game. Okay.
I mean,
Poker face. Okay.
I made this category we came up with it together, actually.
Average user rating of 3.3 on Letterboxd. Dan, I think this is going to have some ingrained
hemorrhoids.
Yeah. What's the word I'm looking for? This is going to have some nostalgia for you, but I think you're also, I think it's a combination of craft and nostalgia. 3.5.
It's kind of where I was. I'm a 3.5 as well.
I'd be stupid not to say 3.5.
3.5s. Down the line. For my beautiful co-hosts here on Child's Play from 1988, directed by Tom Holland. We'll find out at the end of the episode what the fuck I think. Gentlemen, anything else before we get into the plot of this toy killer?
You think they'll do Chucky v. Megan?
I think Don Mancini responded and was like, maybe pump your brakes a little bit. One has one movie and the other's been around for almost 40 years.
Why was Megan so popular? I didn't think it was that great. It was all right.
I mean, their 2's coming out soon, right?
June 27th, I believe.
Chris might be a fan.
It was more fun than I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm. It was okay. They just need to go hard R on the sequel.
Did they?
Like racial slurs? Is that what
Yeah. Yeah. That kind of stuff.
Cigarettes, Bones, you've seen Megan.
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking forward to the sequel?
I don't know if I'll go to the theater for it.
All right.
They'll get it on something.
He loved it. He's not going to the theater. He's going to the IMAX for it.
No, I don't think my trad wife, plastic doll companion, would appreciate me stepping out and seeing that type of movie,
Was she?
If she's a trad wife, she'll do whatever you say.
Oh.
You know what? You're right, but that doesn't mean that I need to, exhaust that ability. I don't need to. I need to respect myself as well as her. Like it's hard to imagine that she's at home wishing that she could be pickling, and I'm out eating fried pickles at the Alamo. I'd much rather come home, imagine that she's telling me how to pickle.
So what if she found out you had the fried pickles and you watched Megan?
Well, she would find out because God, I'd be so riddled with guilt. I'd have to tell her, and that blank look on her face would tell me everything that I knew. You know, like that I knew already that she was crushed.
This one.
Yeah. You know, sometimes I try to break, you know, when I feel really guilty about something, I try to like say it while I'm brushing my teeth. You know?
Sure.
It's like I said it, but
I only
not-
apologize to my wife while I'm in my car by myself after I've left the house. Like, yeah, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
yeah.
I'd never do it in front of her. No. Whew. Never admit guilt. OJ taught us that. I mean, come on. American hero. We start with a police chase for a guy named the Strangler. We get a shootout. Cops hit the Strangler in the leg. He evades a few passing police cars. Breaks into a toy shop.
Sweet fucking hood dive from our boy here, Brad Dorff.
This is very well done,
Yeah.
right here.
It's not your traditional like feet first slide. It's like a head first. It's beautiful.
They shoot at him. They bust the window out. When you see it again, the window's busted out. It's good. It's consistent. Tom Holland here. Anybody else seen any
Spider-Man?
other- No.
Yeah.
Not that dude. We're not talking about that.
Yeah, he shot this.
I once saw a tweet that said Tom Holland has a face like he's trying to keep his tongue from touching the side of his mouth. And now I can't unsee it.
Isn't he dating Dune chick?
Zendaya.
Is that her name? Okay.
Yeah. You got to say it
Challengers.
correctly.
Zendaya.
There you go. I think they're engaged, bro.
Oh, shit.
Wonder if what he tells her.
Is
How
he
can she-
English?
You think
How
she's
can
at
she
home
hear him
pickling?
over the sound of pickling?
You get that vacuum style going, dude. It's loud down there in the root
Mhm.
cellar.
Brewster's over here. He's got a fucking root
Mhm.
cellar.
I got some 3M ear protection that I put on my lady.
What I'm hearing, what I'm saying. All right, our Strangler, he breaks into this toy store. Cops follow him inside. One cop particularly. Our killer hides out, but eventually he gets shot in the chest and basically realizes he's dying. He screams that he will get the cop that shot him, and he will also get Eddie as well, no matter what. I gotta find somebody, says the killer. He falls through a ton of good guy dolls. He takes one out of the box, starts conjuring up a voodoo spell to pass his spirit into the body of this good guy doll.
Chris, is this something that you just like know by heart?
Yes. Ate due dembella, give me the power I beg of you. L'erveux mercier de bois chaillot, secus etienne me pois de mort adele borde passe dambella. I
Incredible.
know most of this movie by heart.
Incredible.
So glad you decided to show up.
So I didn't actually plan on rewatching this, but what I did do is read the original script because I had read that the rough cut of this film was 3 hours long.
Holy shit.
And the beginning actually, like before this chase, was Chris Sarandon like dressed up as a woman to bait the Lakeshore Strangler.
Oh, shit.
There's a lot of things in this script that I'm going to say, like, this movie definitely was saved in the edit after reading that script.
Lightning crashes through the toy store. Our cop inside gets all fucked up when this happened. It basically blows it up. Cop finds the dead Strangler, but the curse is set. We fade into the living room of Andy, and he's watching the Good Guy cartoon and making
He's
his mom
seen
some
that one
breakfast.
before.
The what?
He's like making the breakfast and he hears that the show's on and then he gets excited and jumps off the stool.
Mhm.
And like his disappointment when he's like, I've seen this one. Bums
You
you
didn't
out,
have
man. I had that all the time. You know, when you get home from school and you throw on Batman the Animated Series and it was one you'd already seen. Like, what the hell? Or an X-Men on a Saturday. And you're
Mhm.
like, where? I'm trying to. I felt like you played this 3 weeks ago. What the hell?
We get it. Morph dies.
God.
Damn it. Why'd you have to remind us? All right, Andy notices on the TV a special announcement about the new Good Guy doll. He's very impressed with this. Andy finishes making breakfast for his mother.
This good
Yeah.
guy set where it's like one giant good guy and the little good guy doll. That's what I imagine like Kron's mind palace looks like when he's coming up with categories.
Well, there's always got to be a little puppet in there somewhere.
But it's like a little clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a big amp. It's like a Jack in the Box sales guy head size of like your head
Yeah,
and his mustache and everything.
I've got like a big question mark thing on my head.
Mm-hmm.
Do you stop and like change into your like house shoes?
I think it's
You
more
come
like
in?
a mental thing.
Oh, okay. You don't have like a smoking jacket or anything?
I feel like I would picture it as just my head,
All right.
just a disembodied head that floats around and looks at all the possibilities.
So how do you light the cigarette?
It's lit when I pop in, dude.
Okay. It's a perpetual cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
Andy wakes his mom up. Her name is Karen. She's
When he makes that toast, he puts on a third of the container of margarine on it.
One of the most infuriating scenes in cinema.
Yep.
It looks disgusting.
that toast is really burnt.
Mm-hmm.
And when his mom says it's only 6:30 in the morning, I really can relate to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sometimes you think 7 a.m. is actually 7 p.m. and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I should have just rallied the troops and been like, all right, let's get it over with.
No, there was no way.
He wakes up his mom, Karen. She's from seventh heaven. This might be the
Poison Ivy 4, man. Come on. Put some respect on it. Modernize it a bit.
Did you guys watch Seventh Heaven growing up? There's a lot of Seventh Heaven in my household.
I definitely caught it on TV, but I don't think it's not like I watched it.
Yeah, bits and pieces. I think my mom, she liked it. Bones?
No. I mean,
Shit.
knew of it. I mean, put that with like Party of Five, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, like shit that I was aware of, but did not
No
watch.
interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no interest in Buffy. And I was always like, I should be interested in that show. But
That show fucking sucks. I was forced to watch that as well. I fucking hate that show. Fuck Joss Whedon. I'm glad he got canceled because now everyone else decided they don't like his stuff. But it's always sucked.
yeah, I wasn't.
I don't think I've seen an episode of it.
if you've seen one, you've seen them all. So just watch one of them.
Might be a new box set.
Oh, aren't there like a shitload of seasons, dude?
There's like 9 seasons or something.
I think they're bringing it back, aren't they?
Just start another podcast and do it there, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm
I know you're
dedicated to
looking.
one show.
Maybe it could be like the Laundromat TV. You lost the clicker years ago, and they're just doing Buffy episodes.
I already have another show. You guys make another show. Chris has 3 shows.
What's the third one?
The one
Or
you
the
did that
second
you don't
one.
do anyone.
They're not concurrent.
So you have... Are you
It's
ever
like
gonna
saying
go
Tom
back?
Brady plays for 3 NFL teams.
No, he only played for 2.
I'm not a big sports guy.
It's Andy's birthday, guys. Happy birthday, Andy. He wants to open his gifts, and wouldn't you know it, he gets some new clothes. Psh.
His mom kind of punked him out, right?
Well, yeah, she had him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that box looks like a giant toy.
Maybe she's like, take this, you little shit. You know?
I don't know. It just seemed like a... You can't just throw jeans in a box like that.
Those are them good jeans that last, though.
That box was bigger than the jeans were by a lot.
I bet Andy right now is wishing, he's like, God damn, I wish my mom would get me some jeans.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna guess that was a box that she had, right?
Oh, you'd be right, because in the original script, she says, I couldn't find another box. There's a lot of telling and not showing in the original script like that.
There's something charming that a big part of this is, I wouldn't say her struggle, but her managing, like, to take care of a child on a presumably minimum wage, like, sales counter job. She's being very responsible, but she's taking care of her son. It's just wild to think that currently there's no way you could sell jewelry at a mall and live in that apartment in Chicago.
Well, in the original script, they explain that it's rent controlled.
Okay.
But no, yeah, it's just that 90s thing of like, I was going to bring up Friends as the classic example, but that also is rent controlled. I guess everyone in the middle of the country, we're just fucked because we don't have that.
You can't just serve coffees 20 hours a week.
Yeah.
But it is a great scene. It makes you like sympathize with both of them simultaneously. Like, oh, that fucking sucks. He can't have toys. Oh, that sucks. Like, she can't afford to give him toys.
I mean, this movie, it's like a bummer in a way because these are like nice people trying to make ends meet. And like the idea that it's a killer doll is goofy, but the characters are, yeah, like sweet and nice. It's just, it sucks that they're like good and all this shit happens to them.
Just trying to buy your kid a fucking birthday present.
Yeah.
That's what makes him a little bad guy, though, and not a little good guy.
Is that bad with 2 Ds?
I don't feel like we can do that anymore. I don't feel like we can show the struggle in a charming way because we're just so disconnected from it. Everything has to happen to like well-off people, right? You get this fucking, is it Nancy Myers or Nora Ephron sort of vibe that like, well, rich people can have like drama in their life too. So you're sort of getting to vicariously live through that Like the holiday is such a fucking wild imagination, like trip, just because I couldn't even fathom that sort of wealth that I could just like fuck off for 2 weeks and go to England and not worry about it, you know?
You think maybe it's the writing? It's just easier to write like, oh, this dude's just rich.
I think it's that like Hollywood is full of nepotism and they can't possibly conceive of a lifestyle outside of theirs.
Yeah. Or you can, when they attempt it, you can see the disdain that they have for people. Where this is balanced just enough where, like, you know, we pointed out, you feel for both of them. You're not judging her. You're not judging the kid for wanting a toy.
But she deserves it because she's just a fucking regular woman working at a jewelry store. Now throw this voodoo killing doll in your life. Bitch!
Nah, she's pretty cool. She believes her son.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't fucking afraid to get into the deep, dark alleys.
She eventually believes him.
She goes all out. She does more work than Norris. Okay?
I guess the idea of a killer doll, though, is kind of unbelievable.
It seems a little, yeah. I think that's the strength of the movie is that at first everybody's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
But then once they get enough evidence, it's like, oh, they're on your side. And it's great that for the majority of the movie, she's not combating or arguing with him.
I believed Andy the whole time, guys. I'll just say that up front.
This is it's a hard movie to imagine, like, before you know that it's actually Chucky. Like, I feel like I knew that knowledge before I had seen the movie. So it's hard to go back and be like, it would be crazy to know what people thought in the theater if they thought it was maybe Andy the whole time or like half the movie.
So
you
the pre-Child's Play script that Don Mancini wrote was called Blood Buddy, and it was going to be a lot more like that, where it's not revealed until way later in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine that just based off older trailers that I've seen that probably people knew when they went to the theaters, because one I think of is like the It's Alive trailer, like is 3 minutes long and walks you through the entire plot of the movie. It just seems like they didn't really play anything close to the vest back then.
Mm-hmm.
As much as people like to complain about it now, it was crazy, the shit they would show in trailers before.
Bones, it's you when you first seen it, were you like, maybe it is Andy?
No, like Kron said, it was so ingrained.
Mm-hmm.
And
Playground.
and I think the opening of the movie, that's your buy-in, right?
Yeah.
You're just sort of waiting, when do I get to see the doll alive? I'm not really.
I fuck with you too.
Yeah. And the fact that Andy is so quick to just start telling people that Chucky's talking to him.
Yeah.
Like, I think is a strength of it, as opposed to him playing coy and annoying. Like, I think you as a viewer, you would get frustrated at that.
All right, gentlemen. Andy gets a good guy tool set, but not a good guy doll. But he informs his mom that he wants the doll.
And it comes with a real hammer.
Yeah. This is 88, bro.
Fucking toys used to be the bomb, dude.
Andy tells his mom this is another, like, good, nice thing to show where they are, that she didn't save for that. So she didn't know. The doll came out a little later before She had planned all this. Later at work, Karen is informed that there's a peddler in the back alley selling a good guy doll. Karen buys the doll. Karen's boss kind of rides her ass and informs her that she has to work a double or be fired.
If there's one guy you wish, like in the slasher rules of like, oh, we're gonna set this guy up as a total asshole, so you sort of enjoy seeing him die later.
He's still working there.
What a bummer.
Yeah, that would have been a fun one, like the first kill of the movie.
To be fair, though, she does leave a shit ton of jewelry on the counter before she leaves. Like, it's not unwarranted for him to be pissed off about that.
I think I'm less upset at the, hey, we have designated break hours for that reason, and more the somebody called out sick, so now you absolutely have to take this shift.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of fucked up.
I mean, although in my personal experience, like, just having kids was always the out. Like, it was more often the teenagers that didn't have kids and therefore in the manager's eyes have nothing better to do than work at a Jimmy John's that would be stuck with those sorts of shifts.
Yeah. I got pretty good at volunteering to people like, hey man, I'll cover your Thanksgiving or your Christmas Eve shift if you'll cover my New Year's Day shift. And I feel like a lot of people be like, oh yeah, cool, I can hang out with my family and shit. Be like, well, that's the one I want off anyway. So I get out of family obligations and I get New Year's Day off. Hell yeah.
And then halfway through it, they're like, fuck, I should have just worked.
Yeah. Yep. Halfway, I mean, an hour.
Yeah. All right. Karen can leave at 5, so she brings Andy home, but she has to go back in for the later shift. Karen does give Andy his good guy doll after she does leave work. He says, hi,
Can you guys
I'm Chucky.
remember a world where like people were going to buy jewelry at the mall past 7 p.m.? Crazy to think that was something that would happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably reserved for guys in a panic trying to come up with like a guilt apology gift to their synthetic sex doll.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Like your wife found lipstick on your collar. Better go buy some 10:30 p.m. jewelry.
Hey, working hard on Christmas Eve. You maybe, forgot to buy it. Hi, I'm Chucky, and I'm your friend till the end. Andy's one happy kid. He thanks his mom. Karen's friend Maggie watches Andy while she's at work. Andy plays with Chucky until it's time to go to bed. Chucky informs Andy that he wants to watch the 9 o'clock news.
The Andy showing him how to use the tools and Chucky not watching is very fucking funny. Like, Chucky, you're not watching me. That would bum me out, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to use a hammer, Andy. Maggie, one of those characters like last week in Rumpelstiltskin of...
Yes.
Horny best friend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maggie makes Andy go to bed. Chucky comes along with him. Maggie cleans up the kitchen, but is startled when the 9 o'clock newscast blasts from the living room. Maggie, of course, investigates. She sees Chucky sitting in the chair watching the newscast. She takes Chucky back to Andy's room and blames Andy for turning on the TV and leaving Chucky. Andy's like, I didn't do it. Wasn't me.
I mean, it is a crazy thing for a kid to do. To just be like, I gotta get the 9 o'clock news on the TV.
Yeah, what kid is interested in that?
Oh, gotta watch Morley Safer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you get why Chucky wants to watch the news, but it is also just so old-timey, right?
What kid is staying up till 9 o'clock? Like,
Yeah, but-
jeez.
Have
If you don't hear it on the news, you may never hear it.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like now it would just be get on, steal her phone and look at Twitter or some shit. But when was the last time you guys sat down in front of network television to catch something?
Not like the local affiliate. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'll do the local affiliate just for like the weather, but not to like watch it.
My phone tells me that on the home screen without me even asking.
We got a really good local guy in St. Louis though. He's like he's a local rock star. Like when you turn on the TV and he's got his sleeves rolled up, it's a local meme. Like, all right, it's fucking serious.
Is he
And
like that?
sometimes these anchors are stacked too. So,
What do you mean?
I guess they don't have them where you're at.
Like they're busy?
Yeah.
They're doing multiple. Like the girl that does the weather is also doing like, we're driving around today.
Yeah, she's chasing the tornado.
Maggie makes.
I sent you guys a picture in the chat. Andy's bathroom medicine cabinet is filled with what appears to be high-end fragrances. Just wanted to point that out.
He's a classy guy.
She's been palming stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Seems that way.
Well, are any of them full? Like maybe she's taken the
testers?
the old samples.
Nah. She better be hawking them shits. She's peddling in another back street. All right. Maggie makes him and Chucky go to bed. Later that night, Maggie is enjoying what she thinks is some time to herself. But this little bad guy is running around the apartment. She thinks it's Andy, of course. We get some great POV, like running around. Maggie hears the noise, goes to look. She's frightened by another noise in the kitchen. Sugar's been spilt all over the floor. Or flour, I don't know which. She's spooked when the phone rings.
It's
Karen. Is it?
Yeah. Her
That was
fucking
such
mom's
sugar.
cooking tastes like shit, dude.
She never feeds Andy.
He can half, fill a bowl of cereal with milk. Like,
I mean,
You can make toast.
yeah.
you've seen how much butter he's eating. I mean, that's all the calories you need for a week right there.
He's keto, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking drinking bulletproof coffee with country crock in it.
I would love a fucking bulletproof coffee right now. My fucking head.
Go make a coffee, dude.
I can feel it throbbing. I don't want to go up there and make a whole pot. I'm not going to fuck around with the Nespresso machine.
I mean, I can filibuster about the nuanced differences between the original script and this scene in particular while you go make coffee.
I did a rum and Coke. I did want to ask, what was the mechanism with which they created movement with Chucky? Was it a little person? Was it just a smaller stunt person and then forced perspective? Are you aware of
All the above.
Okay.
So it was a little person, but they built furniture that was 30% bigger.
Okay.
Sweet.
There's got to be some like robotic stuff too.
Yeah, there's animatronic stuff, but I mean, they do a little man on fire stunt at the end that is very clearly
Wild.
a dude, a real person.
All right, Karen's on the phone. She explains that she had a case of the Alone at Night Willies. She seems a little upset, Maggie does. Chucky picks up the good guy tool set hammer.
The
Maggie here.
At Home Alone, Willie's means something different for a 14-year-old boy.
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean?
Means you got access to the VCR in the family room. You know what I mean?
Means you're watching all those rated R flicks.
You got a tape. You got a tape from school that's been a
Passed.
copy of a copy of a copy.
Yep. You know exactly where your scene starts, and
Mm-hmm.
you're
Where
good
your
to
dad
go.
busted. Maggie hears a noise, looks behind, I guess, some plants or something. But when she turns around, the hammer hits her square in the face. She falls out of the window and smashes right into an F-150.
I mean, it's a Rowan Atkinson level step back, right? I mean, it's a dozen steps that she takes before she hits the window.
Yeah.
There's no need for this, yeah.
I don't. You see a doll running at you and smack you in the head with a hammer. You might take the window voluntarily, you know?
Yeah. I mean, what's great about it is that there's like, it lingers on her face for just long enough to where you realize that she's seeing something weird rather than cutting like immediately to her getting hit with a hammer. It's good shit.
The fall looks really good, too.
Yeah.
Out of the window. Looks crazy.
Karen returns home to find the police taking care of business over the whole Maggie thing. Karen goes up to the apartment. Cops are everywhere. She finds Andy. He's
One dude
safe.
just chilling, reading the paper.
Yeah. It's a real loaded weapon type of scenario here.
It is a union job.
Yeah.
Okay. Andy says Maggie had an accident. Detective Mike Norris speaks with Karen privately to tell her that Maggie's dead due to falling out of the kitchen window.
Do kids have, like, no legal rights? I feel like they shake this kid down a lot throughout the movie.
I kind of think that they don't have legal rights, but I think if he had given some sort of like incriminating testimony, you could make the argument in court that there was no adult present and he was
Yeah.
coerced into giving it.
All right.
Is this one of the first sequences that they shot? Because it feels like Chris Sarandon is really putting on the Chicago accent in this sequence.
Do you think he's a good detective in this one?
Yeah.
He's all right.
He doesn't like loose ends, and I like that about him.
Well, I'm a loose end.
I mean,
This is
he
another movie now, baby.
sees the case all the way through. He doesn't just throw like an arm into a locker marked random stuff at the morgue.
I guess my question is, if you were in this position and the kid was like, the doll's alive, like, how would you deal with that?
Wow, buddy.
Thank my
Cool.
lucky stars.
I should have
You
been a
gotta
fireman.
show me.
I just got the case of my lifetime, dude.
What's his name?
Mm-hmm.
All right, wrong to ask you too. Jesus fuck. I think Bones would take it as a serious detective and, get to the root of it. That's right. I think Bones would be the better detective of all of the other two.
Mm.
I
I
think,
don't think so,
Chris
either.
would be detective. I'd be the best cop because I will shake people down.
I will violate some
Yeah.
constitutional rights.
I will. Hey,
I think I'd be like the bad lieutenant from Bad Lieutenant.
yeah, 100%.
It's like Nicolas Cage.
The other one, Keitel.
I would say Chris is our
I'm like a monk. You're like a little weirdo running around with possibly on the spectrum. Don't like being touched.
It's like the A team. We got to get this together, dude.
I guess I'm definitely Estevez and Loaded Weapon.
I was just gonna say, like, if you used LA Confidential, Chris would be Guy Pearce, I'm Russell Crowe, and Kron would be like, shaking it up with the Hollywood talent,
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it was good. I was avoiding his name, but Kron would want to work Vice just for the hookup.
Yeah.
I get to look at naked chicks and I have a bag of Coke on me at all times.
Yeah. Sell that. Gamble the money you made selling Coke. That's fun, dude. No consequences.
Cry over fucking losing sports bets and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Smoke all the cigarettes I want.
Yeah. I'm not planning to live anyway.
Speaking of Nicolas Cage, I feel like Chris Sarandon's partner has the exact hair density and mustache of Nicolas Cage in Raising Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like he's not look like a detective at all.
No. Looks like he's losing the top a little.
So are you.
Yeah, I know. That's how I spotted it.
Oh, no.
There's always that one weird looking detective, though. It's like he's the guy that came over from UC or some shit, Like,
yeah.
You got your Riggs. You got that fucking Rastafarian dude in The Professional that's somehow a part of Oldman's team. And that's you, Dan. That's our guy. It's our fucking police squad.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'd lose interest and go to the bar. All right, Norris shows her the small footprints in the salt on the countertop and says he's already checked out Andy's shoes. Karen's like, slow your fucking roll, cop. Like, chill. Andy interrupts them. Norris notices Andy's wearing shoes that he hasn't checked yet. So he's like, "What are you wearing there?"
Wouldn't
Andy?
that be the first pair you check?
That's kind of what I
The
guess.
one they're currently wearing.
Karen sends Andy to his bed. Tells Norris she doesn't give a shit who made the footprints. Andy ain't no suspect. Norris clears the scene to give her and the boy some time alone.
So the good guy pajama slip-ons, on the bottom of them, they have like an axe and a hammer. Is a gun another one of the icons?
Yeah.
Fucking incredible, man.
You got to be prepared for anything, dude.
I think maybe it's like an old West gun now.
Well, yeah, the only thing that stops a bad guy is a good guy with a gun, right?
Whoa.
I've never heard that, but that's really good.
That's what they've been talking about this whole time?
Yeah.
Wow. It's changed my whole life. I think it's time to buy a gun, guys. Watch your mailboxes. Andy notices the Chucky's shoes
Gonna need
covered.
you to scratch the cereal off mine, dude.
Oh, of course. These aren't going to be, yeah. It's going to be a paper bag wrapped box, okay?
When you said watch your mailbox, are you sending it or are you shooting my mailbox?
I mean, how do you want it? I mean,
You
I
got to
can
do
both.
target practice, Bones.
Okay. You got to sight it in for me?
Mm-hmm.
Andy notices that Chucky's shoes are covered in salt. He runs out to narc on Chucky, but he doesn't believe in that childish doll shit. Norris tells his colleague to get everything on the kid and Karen and to check out the mini hammer that he found as well. Could be a possible murder weapon.
They
His
kind of laugh
partner's
about
like,
it.
Really, dude? Really? Back in the apartment, Karen's hearing some shit from Andy's room. Andy is still up talking with Chucky. Karen sits down. She asks Andy what Chucky's been saying to him.
I think this might be the creepiest thing in the whole movie is her opening the door and Chucky sitting in that chair.
Mm-hmm.
And Andy kind of on the floor in the corner. Like what he repeats that Chucky told him. Is that like a Cliff Note version? Like how fucking specific did Charles E. Ray get?
He's a grown-ass man, though,
Yeah.
so...
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's only going to have patience with this 6-year-old for so long before he's like, look, kid, I'm alive. I want a fucking cigarette.
Yeah, I gotta watch the news.
I still have
every night.
Still haven't watched the news.
My daughter went through a thing where they sell, like, she called it a real looking baby. So they're baby dolls, but they look like a real baby. And she has two.
My wife's been asking for one of those.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, babe, I'm cut.
Mm-hmm.
You should be like, it's here.
Is this the one
go.
where you shake it and its brain lights up?
No, it's not that one. No, it has a see-through head, Chris. I'll
Oh,
send you one.
okay.
Get a discount at this point. A lot of guys been asking. But yeah, I'll go into, I got like a storage room like in the basement, and I'll just get like a glimpse of that and be like, well, what the fuck? And I'll be like, oh, that's the doll. Like shit. It's scary. I'll send a pic. In like December. You guys won't remember any of this.
No.
And then a dick pic, because you know that's what I always do.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys
Eating
are like,
up they're eating up all the memory on my phone, dude. You can
You're like
stop sending them.
You're like, stop sending them, but not really, Dan. We like the one that looks like the leprechaun.
I print
You
them
spent
all
3
out
hours.
and I like pin them to my world map.
Yeah, I feel that pin every time it goes in. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
I thought when you sent the leprechaun one, it was kind of offensive because we had just covered Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah. And I just put that somewhere in Europe, by the
Hmm.
way. I wasn't specific on the country.
Did you put the date like 1403 or something?
You're not a time traveler, dude. Quit joking around.
Andy says that Chucky's real name is Charles Lee Ray, and he was sent from heaven by Daddy to play with him.
If only she'd made it home for the 9 o'clock news, she would have heard that name.
She would have watched. He said that Aunt Maggie was a real bitch and she got what she deserved.
One of the all-time lines in movies ever. Gets me every single time.
Well, he does deliver it like a kid who just doesn't know what it means. And she's just like, oh. Did he really just say that? Yeah, really good. Karen tells Andy that Chucky isn't real. He's a doll. You don't think Chucky is actually alive, do you, Andy? Asks Karen. Andy says he is. Andy apologizes for saying what he did. And Karen's a little freaked out about it. Andy tells Chucky that his mom didn't believe him, and Chucky turns his head towards the door. This is after she tucks him in. So the viewer knows something's up here. The next morning, Karen takes Andy to school and double checks on the kid's mental health just to make sure he's all right about all the events that happened last night. As soon as mom leaves, Andy ditches that shit, bro.
It's kind of funny. There's like another kid with a good guy doll that like goes into the building too.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
I guess I didn't notice that. Yeah, he ditches school and takes the train with Chucky. They get off.
In my school, all our good guy dolls had to be made out of mesh and see-through. So
So they
He's
knew what was in there.
Those dolls are
Yeah.
huge, man. They're like the
Yeah.
size of the kid almost.
It does seem like there would be a limit on the size of the toy the kid could bring.
I think I was never allowed to. I guess as long as it stayed in your backpack, maybe.
I mean, my parents would not, if they bought me something that was $100, they would not let me take that to school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andy and Chucky, they get off in the not so hot part of town. We are in Chicago here. Andy and Chucky arrive at an abandoned house, and while Andy takes a piss, Chucky heads
Tinkle.
into the house. There's a guy sleeping in this house. We got some rats. Kron.
Look great.
I got
And
a
I
little
mean, of
bad
cour-
guy. I got some rats.
I mean, it is Chicago.
I got Chicago. Give it to me, baby.
City's overrun, dude.
Just fucking season 3, season of Quran. This place is a
It's about time he
pigsty.
got all the
Yeah.
respect that he was due.
Yeah, he was kind of more of a background character in the first 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's how we do them.
Yeah.
We each get one.
Nah, I think you're kind of the Urkel of this show. I think you're going to sort of take center stage now.
Yeah. Bones is the sister that goes upstairs and never comes back.
Fuck yeah. I cannot wait.
Who
What
am
was
I?
the alternate Urkel
This
Well,
is
there was
sexy version.
Stefan.
Stefan.
when he became cool?
Yeah, it was Stefan.
Yeah. I just need to find that part of myself.
I'm Carl Winslow, ain't I? Fuck. I'm a cop, and I'm not proud of it. But I'm also in Die Hard, so.
Yeah.
Bruce does not remember me.
It's just sad, man. Some things, I'll go with you some places, but
You guys want to joke about the Pope?
yeah, fuck that guy. Who gives a shit?
Chucky, he lights up our oven. He turns the gas on. Which, by the way, cooks way better than electric. If you're buying a house out there. And
Yeah.
thank you to realty.com this week for supporting 5-day rentals. Please type in the code 5DR for 0.00.2 off of your APR.
Off your APR.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say price of the house.
No. We're into APRs now, dude.
I gotta
That's
tell
what
you
it
though,
said.
it cooks better, but I hate having to clean the fucking thing.
Clean what?
My gas stove top.
You letting the shit, watch the shit so it doesn't boil over.
Yeah. Just never spill anything.
What are you doing?
Impossible. Great chefs make a mess, dude.
You ever tried to cook with a bunch of rats in your kitchen? It's unavoidable that something's going to get spilled.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I cooked meth for years. I had pack rats, groundhogs, raccoons, meth heads. I did all right.
I've probably in my life had a mouse or a rat watch me cook dinner. I'm sure of it.
Or like sit on
rubbing
your
its little
head and
hands.
control
No, it's
you.
not- it's not controlling me, but there's probably
Sure.
one in the vicinity.
Hey, is that a
some?
Pixar reference?
hmm
Maybe. I
Oh.
think it could be DreamWorks. I'm not sure.
It could be a Everything Everywhere All at Once reference.
Nobody watched that.
All of
pretty big.
America watched it, Dan.
Huh?
All of America watched it. It was our identity for about 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
2. Didn't it win an
fair.
Oscar?
Yeah.
Best
Best
picture.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'll fucking take it, dude. Better
Yeah, I
that than
guess so.
some, hour and 40-minute Kate Winslet movie about a lady reading poems,
Mm-hmm.
Movie's
He was
sexy.
creative. I mean,
Yeah.
Chucky lights up the gas, pumps in the gas. Andy finishes his long ass piss, notices Chucky's gone. Our dude in the house sleeping hears something. He starts checking around the house, and he starts shooting at whatever sound he hears. And that's the way you should always check. Shoot
Yeah.
first, look second. Andy hears the shots, heads towards the house. Dude opens the kitchen door, shoots. It fucking explodes.
It's awesome.
crazy, huge explosion.
It's very confusing for this movie.
Just like last week, we used to make fucking movies in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But have you ever heard of a pilot light inside of a stove? Is that...
I don't know.
He like blows out the pilot light in the stove, turns the gas up. I've never seen that before, but I don't know.
Maybe he knew that pushed more gas on the top for a bigger explosion. I don't know.
I mean, some of the old school ones, I think you did light with a match first, right? And then you turned on the rest of the
oven?
burner. Yeah.
Well, Chris is asking about the oven.
Oh,
Yeah, there's like a
sorry.
flame in the oven portion.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Fuck, I gotta go check mine.
Maybe back in the day. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Do I look like a Maytag guy?
We're a fucking generation of children, dude. We're not real men. We can't fix stuff.
Dude, we're more men than any of these boys out here right now.
Who are you pointing to? Who are the boys?
They know who they are.
You got some punks in the neighborhood, dude, that need to be.
I don't have punks in my neighborhood.
You got some kids fighting on a trampoline?
That's not my issue. Karen picks up Andy. He's already been arrested at 6 years old. Look at this kid. Where is he going? To military school or something?
No, that's the third one.
That was a joke, Chris. Thanks. Got any more? Ruin Laundry Dan's day, huh?
No, that's Let's Ruin Dad's Day, a Judge Reinhold movie from the early 90s.
Whoa.
Is that the title?
It is.
Let's Ruin Dad's Day.
Next week on 5DR.
Keep it far away from my family, dude. We're trying to have good days over here.
Detective Norris, he questions Karen with another cop, while another cop questions Andy and Chucky about Maggie. Karen tells Andy that no one believes you about Chucky, and he needs to tell the truth, or he will get taken away from her. Andy starts hitting Chucky, telling him to fess up, but nothing.
See, this scene's a bummer too, man.
That kind of hits you.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, a psychologist just pops in and is like, Andy needs to stay with us for a few days based off of what we're seeing. And I guess Karen just agrees.
He takes this kid to like the One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest facility. It is brutal
Jack
in there.
Nicholson's on the next floor down. I just want to watch the game. I heard 5DR covered it.
It's Death Wish 2, right? That ends with him finding the guy at the facility and convincing the tech, like, he killed my daughter. And the guy's like, all right, I'll give you 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's the second one.
Yeah.
Also takes place in Chicago.
I just want some ice cream.
This psychologist is played by Jack Colvin, who is best known for playing Jack McGee, the investigative reporter that's on the trail of the Incredible Hulk in the TV show. Unfortunately, did not appear in the trial of the Incredible Hulk, now out on dead formats, featuring Bones from 5 Day Rentals.
Whoa.
This was his last movie before he died.
When did that come out?
It'll be out now by the time this is out.
Yeah.
Oh, here I am like, how did I fucking see that on my shit?
It came out on May 19th. That's when it came out in the past.
Bones edited all that out. Or edited it in. All right, where the fuck are we? Karen gets home without Andy, but brings Chucky home. She's upset and tells Chucky to say something. Chucky says, hi, I like being hugged. Karen laughs it off. She finds Chucky's box. And
One
out
thing I
drops-
just realized watching this was that serial killer in his 40s, Charles Lee Ray, is acutely aware of good guy dolls because he knows all of the phrases that they say.
Yeah.
Never thought about that before.
Maybe his like consciousness combined with the programming or something.
You don't think that's maybe something on the doll that they can hit?
I think it's voice activated.
Yeah.
Did anybody watch the new one with Aubrey Plaza?
Saw it in theaters.
I started it, but I never finished it.
It sucked shit. I mean, it had a couple good ideas, but she's not good at acting. She's not believable as a mother who cares about a child.
But she's hot, though.
She shows like a little bored in everything.
She's good in Ingrid Goes West, I think it's called. It's a pretty good one.
Yeah,
Check it out.
I saw it. It was all right.
All right. Karen does notice that the batteries drop out of the good guy box. And she's like, what the fuck? She goes over to check, and Chucky doesn't have any batteries. Well, wouldn't you know it, the little bad guy twists his head around and says, hi, I'm Chucky. And he drops to the floor, slides under the couch. Karen looks under the couch, and there lays Chucky. She taps him a few times, pulls him up. She shakes him in disbelief, telling him to talk. She decides to go the torture route connection and lights the fireplace. Chucky bursts to life and starts beating on Karen. You stupid bitch. I'll teach you to fuck with me. He kicks, he bites. Karen throws him off of her. Chucky takes off down the hallway. He takes the elevator out of the apartment. Karen chases him downstairs to try to catch him. But he's gone by the time that she reaches the streets. And gentlemen. Go ahead, Karan.
I was just going to say, I feel like the scene worked well because it's like she starts out, this is unbelievable, to then find the batteries, to then the movie confirms it's Chucky. It kind of runs through like...
Yeah, it's the battery thing is some like great fucking writing in this movie. Probably the strongest scene of the film.
Yeah.
And I'm sure this has been discussed 80% of the time in every podcast that's covered this, but Dorif's voice is so perfect for Chucky, and the explosive pop of him finally cussing at her and revealing himself is fucking awesome. Like, in the 3 or 4 times that I've seen this movie, it puts a smile on my face every time.
Yeah, and I think the thing that really stands out about this movie and makes it like an all-timer for me is just how well written all of the characters are. I think a lot of that has to do with how it was edited, but just the small detail of her, like, she thinks this doll is alive, she confronts it, and she's just like, talk to me, you little bastard. Like, she just calls it a bastard and even hesitates saying that word. It's just one of those small, like, really nice character moments.
Like she's been trying not to cuss for 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that. Yeah, I'd have such a potty mouth with this fucking thing.
Good parents cuss, guys.
You little piece of shit. You fucking... The same way I talk to my cat, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, gentlemen, it's time to drain our batteries. It's a piss break. Hey, everybody, welcome back to 5-Day Rentals. We are smack goddamn in the middle of Child's Play from 1988. Directed by Fright Night's own Tom Holland. Also wrote The Class of 1984.
Soon to be Odysseus, I heard.
I don't know how true that is, but
I
believe
think
you,
Damon's
Chris.
Odysseus, right?
Is Tom Holland like a troll or...
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know if he's part of his gang or not.
It's no interest.
Who's playing the Cyclops?
Shut up about Nolan and let's talk about a hustler card. Went with a little blonde hair mama type. Curly haired Mia. I got to old man this for a second and turn on a flashlight so I can read this text.
Take me to seventh heaven.
Mia, 34, 24, 34. She's 5'4", 112 pounds. She was born in 1968. Hustler layout, April 1992. 25-year-old Mia claims that she is so addicted to sex, she has actually gone to therapy for it. However, all she says...
Fucking dark.
Yeah, crushing depression on the back of this card.
However, all she says that she got out of it were more men willing to feed her habit. Yeah, that's darker than a gambling addiction. Call 9 whatever after fucking DraftKings commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, these new cards, there's no hotline number. What the hell, Kron?
I'm sorry, dude. They were trying to get into the web at that point in time.
Let me get the bag here for you guys. Comfortable.
Well, there's a number if you need it.
Call 1-800-775. Is that 5885? You'd think we'd have it memorized by now. Okay, I didn't forget. We did one.
That's good because I forgot. So
Mia would like to see you.
Mia needs help.
I think she
tried,
found it.
At least.
She found it.
All right.
You want to help her?
Yeah.
The fuck is this?
What are you doing, man?
I just got a random number. Dan, this is his wife. Oh, okay.
Is this about the trampoline incident?
No, I'm
We need you
invited to a surprise retirement party for a guy I used to work with.
Community update.
What's his name and what's the date?
Edward Rocky Mungie Jr.
Yeah, guilt Chris into coming to that too.
May 10th, 3 p.m. in Rolla, Missouri. Shh, keep it quiet.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to go, dude. I'm going to say Dan invited me.
Where's the beer?
Mm-hmm. Dan said it was cool if I came here.
Bones, thank you for that Hustler minute. Greatly appreciated. Karan Howard may have extended this show another 22 years
No,
with the amount of Hustler cards he brought.
those are for
when we were in
you.
the char.
They don't have to be for the pod. I write them off on my taxes either way, so.
That's major, dude. All right, Karen, she takes a cab to meet Norris and tells him that Andy was right, that Chucky is alive and that he killed somebody. She shares the battery thing and the altercation that she had with Chucky. She says that Chucky killed Maggie. Norris says you're lying for your son. Any good parent would. Karen shows
time, dude.
Karen shows her bite marks and turns and leaves to find Chucky.
My kid wasn't on your trampoline. Shut up.
I think a better
Stuff like
parent
that.
lets the kid take the fall, right?
Nah, dude.
Get out of it.
Like,
Let
my
the
kid
state
didn't do
deal with
shit. My kid doesn't talk to the police. Get the fuck out of here. Karen goes to the bad side of Chicago and searched for the peddler that sold her Chucky.
That's every side of Chicago, am I right? They're all the bad side.
You got the rat side and the bad side, and
The bear
South
side.
side.
mm-hmm.
I will say, I have been to Chicago once. I did visit the apartment building that she lived in.
Whoa.
God
Is it still
damn,
there?
Chris.
Yeah. You can't go in, though, because there's a doorman. So you just have to awkwardly have your wife go across the street and take a picture of you from caddy corner. And then you have to explain to people, oh, this is in 1988's Child's Play. Aunt Maggie was pushed out a window, and that's the window.
Does the doorman know?
I'm sure anyone half the people he turns away are like, it's a Child's Play apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Maggie was a bitch, dude.
Yeah, I would say dudes walking up looking a little punk rock with a Cannibal Corpse t-shirt. He
Yeah.
probably knows.
Move along.
Is there
I
like
just-
a little Chucky shrine or anything that people have set up?
No, but it does still have that like old-timey caged elevator.
Dang.
Our first apartment in St. Louis had two elevators. It had like a proper elevator, but it had that like cage style in the back that you could use, and I would just use it just for fun, just because like I don't need to load anything, but just felt cool.
You like a little extra danger when you're going between floors, like I might die.
Hell yeah. I was always sort of hoping that I'd get into a fight with Peter Franks.
I think my interest here is whenever the people get the job, they're like, oh, yeah, by the way, this is the Chucky apartment. And they're like, what? Like, yeah, there's probably going to be people like coming up for that, just so you're aware.
Mm-hmm.
Better that than living in the Breaking Bad house and having to pay
Yeah.
to put up, a 10-foot chain link fence and
and people are
Vin-
trying to throw
Pizza
pizzas
on
your
it, yeah.
roof.
And then you put it on the market for like $4 million, and then you realize you live in Albuquerque and no one has $4 million, and it's residential, so it's not really zoned for that, and neighbors would be pissed if it were a Breaking Bad museum.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds
Good luck.
odd that you say that.
Good luck selling your spot, dude.
Yeah, for real.
It was a weird
I have
street,
the worst
man.
fucking realtor.
God damn it, I need to fire her. Right, where the fuck are we? Oh, she finds the guy that sold her this doll, dude. She asked where he got it from. She offers to pay him, but he wants a little bit more. But luckily, Norris breaks it up.
You
and
completely
questions the
skipped
peddler.
over the montage of unhoused people shaking their heads no.
Yeah.
It seems like they just shined a fucking spotlight like in their faces as they were filming, and they're like, "Whoa, oh."
I think if I ever get to be in a big Hollywood movie, that's what I want, just to be the guy that's like,
Yeah.
you don't get SAG minimum because you don't speak any lines, but you get a close up.
I'm going to put a little twist on it. I think I'm going to be the guy that's like, and does like a point down the street.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Like,
that'd be pretty good.
You're the helpful guy that
Yeah. Like,
points it
I don't
out
wanna-
and then follows them for 3 blocks.
Yeah. Yeah, this peddler guy, Dan, he's a different beast at night, huh? He just seemed like,
He had a lady with him.
Yeah, he
Man,
seemed to-
just turned.
he was just trying to sell a doll. He's trying to
Yeah.
get the best price for his product when we first see him, but he's a little stinker.
To
Not
say
a
the
good guy.
least.
He a little bad dude, little bad guy.
I do like in the montage to like help identify him. She points out like he's got fucked
Yeah.
up teeth.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. And he does. They're like whittled away.
Yeah.
Norris does question this peddler, but he's not really much help. But he also admits that he says, I was at the toy store where the Strangler shooting happened. I'm the one that was there. And Karen's like, why the fuck didn't you tell me this? Let's go. So Karen heads that way, but Norris stops her and says there's nothing there because it got struck by lightning and basically blew up. He's like, I'm the guy that killed Charles Lee Ray. Norris drives Karen home. She tells him that Chucky's is
That's your
Charles Lee
opening
Ray.
line to every single woman you meet, right? If that's
Yeah. I killed Charles Lee Ray.
The
I
guy
wonder
that
if I
shot
told you.
Kennedy. That's what you'd
Mhm.
get.
We don't know that. Man, I don't think you should be throwing that around just willy-nilly on this show.
Could have been him, though.
Maybe. We'll talk about it, but yeah.
Is he included in your dossier?
Is the next box set just half-hour chunks of JFK?
I told you that if we do JFK, it'd be 3 episodes.
That'd be awesome.
I don't know.
Do the other two get to call a shot like that? Like, oh, if we do Terminator 2, that's 3 episodes.
They wouldn't do that.
I
I'll
would.
take JFK for 3 episodes. I'll host all 3 episodes.
All right,
Well,
we're doing.
But I'll tell you what. Episode 2 is going to be very fun because I'm going to have all kinds of Looney Tunes on that fucking show. And then episode 3, we bring in our misfit friends, Chris.
You're
Others.
not. So it's not 3 episodes just doing the plot. It's 1 episode of plot, 2 episodes with conspiracy theorists,
Uh-huh.
and then a recap episode.
and then rating.
This feels like 6 episodes, bro.
I wouldn't care. You guys by 2 would be sick of JFK.
I mean, we usually don't do that much background for a movie. If you could knock the plot out in 1, we can do that. I don't want to watch it. The movie stinks.
You've never seen that movie.
I've seen enough.
No, you haven't. Enough of JFK. Don't get me all fucking excited. I'm halfway hard right now. You want to see?
Pesci looks like Clayface from Batman, dude.
You've never seen him covered in gold paint at the gay party, dude. Like,
Is that in JFK?
yes.
I don't think I've ever seen
I'm telling you, you guys are fucking missing a whole. Like, if you watch JFK, you'd be like, this is totally a 5DR movie.
I've only seen the scene where John Candy's like, I'm the real article.
Why don't we'll just settle on 2 episodes of The Doors.
You could do a 2-door episode.
Bones,
Well,
what's your semi-biographical pick?
Well,
VHS tape 1 and 2, dude.
we're doing 2 Oliver Stones. Fuck it, I'll do Alexander. At least then you get a
Fuck
fucking
Alexander.
full frontal Rosario Dawson.
Hey. All right, where the fuck am I in this plot? You guys fucking got me off. All right, yeah, she's putting together.
Did you forget how this show works?
We got you off just by talking about JFK.
I have a whole. You heard it. I have a whole fucking thing set up, and I don't know if it's gonna come to life or not. And then I'm like, what fucking listener would want to listen to 3 fucking episodes of fucking JFK?
Make the show for yourself, not for some hypothetical listener that doesn't exist.
I'm not sure I want to do 3 episodes of JFK.
It's not your choice.
Ugh.
You don't have to do anything. You got to watch JFK. That's it.
That's like a 4-hour commitment.
I'm game.
Kron, you have to be dressed as Gold. What's his name?
Gold Pesci.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm in.
Well, now
All
we're
right.
talking. Now we're sweetening the pot a little.
Karen's putting together that Chucky is Charles Lee Ray, but she doesn't know how he got inside the doll.
I think
Before
it was
she
a
leave-
chant or something. I wish I could remember it.
Yeah, I don't remember the chain either.
Me either.
Oh.
What I do remember is that in the original script, there is a scene where her and Norris go to the toy store together, and they do a really fucking shitty, like, Norris is like, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, while he was dying, he was saying something in a strange tongue. And Karen's like, that must be how he got into the doll. Pretty fucking terrible. Like, I don't know if they actually shot that scene, but does it matter if either of them know how it happens? Like, it doesn't. And I feel like a movie coming out today would dog walk you through all of this shit.
Which is terrible. All right, before she leaves, she makes Norris tell her where Charles Lee Ray lived. Karen says, you're in danger because Chucky said he was coming after you. Karen says, I'm a loose end, so we need to check this out. Norris says he doesn't like loose ends. Whoa. Norris does exactly that. He stops by the office to get the file on Charles Lee Ray. He continues home, but Chucky has different plans. He pops up from the back seat. He starts choking Norris with some fucking jumper cables. This is fucking great.
What? All right, last week I was confused. It was me on Rumpelstiltskin's scope of of abilities. What is Chucky's strength factor? Like, does he have the strength of Charles Lee Ray?
That's kind of what I always assumed.
We're doing stats here.
I think
what's his power?
I think we need a stat card for Chucky because
10 charisma.
Yeah.
Height, not so much. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too. Is I guess if it's Charles Lee Ray, then I guess he would have that. I don't know though. Like,
Well, they say that he's turning more human. Seems like he should be gaining human strength.
Or I would think losing it. Because if he's becoming more human, if he becomes completely human, but he's like 3 feet tall.
That's a good point.
3 feet tall humans are not very strong.
and they can only have half beers at our bar, according to Quran. But in 1988, dolls are made stronger than what they are today.
Yeah, I mean, he's got, as we learn later, a steel endoskeleton.
Yeah,
My kind of doll, made in America.
exactly. Thank
God
you,
damn it.
Detroit. Nobody's going to do the more human than human.
Is Rob Zombie from Detroit?
No, he's from Wisconsin. Rob Zombie, the same size as Laundry Dan. Bones can confirm that.
In what?
In real life.
But what is the same size?
You mean height?
6'5".
That's pretty good, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty tall, huh? Am I the tallest guy in this podcast, Sue?
I
Mm-hmm.
think you might be. Your head is closest to the top
Yeah, to
border
the
of the
ceiling.
Zoom screen.
Yeah,
That's true. That's how you measure it.
I think that's more just lack of understanding framing.
How am I not framed up? My head's not touching.
Yeah, you
my
don't want to
top
leave
camera.
too much or too little headspace.
Kron's too much. You need to come up.
It's the shape of the room, dude.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
See, this isn't the actual, this is the vent. The actual ceiling's up there. See that?
Brewster's Millions.
it's-
Yeah.
16-foot ceilings.
The frame doesn't give a fuck about the ceiling.
Kron's ceilings are higher than mine.
Yes, he's got a vaulted
He's got a
ceiling.
cathedral.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Look at that. I can see the fucking corner right there.
That's the top of the wall.
I know, and it goes up like this.
Yeah, like a ski chalet in the Swiss Alps.
It's got a fireplace in there.
No. They had to remove it to get the gold out of it.
Chucky has different plans. He pops up. He starts choking Norris with some jumper cables. Norris burns him with a cigarette lighter back when they made those in cars still.
I still have one, dude.
He takes the wheel. Chucky continues his attack with the kitchen knife through the seat, which is terrifying.
Mhm.
The way
Good
he's
shit.
jumping up is great as well. He's trying to protect those goods as Chucky keeps stabbing. Norris is trying to control the car. Chucky gets to the gas pedal and slams it down until they flip the car. Chucky takes a stab at Norris, misses, and then takes off. Norris is still in the car. Chucky kind of plays some games with him as he's running around the wrecked car, and he's got his knife back. Norris starts to shoot. Chucky comes in for a kill stab, but Norris blasts him, and Chucky runs off.
Chucky's knife is like the toy knife, right?
I think in this scene it's just a kitchen knife.
Okay. That toy knife later, did he sharpen the toy?
I mean,
Is
I
it
think that's his
custom made?
voodoo knife.
With the red in it.
Oh, I thought that was like the good guy knife. Like that came with the toy.
No, I mean, if you have a gun, what do you need a knife for?
It's true.
The next morning, Karen arrives at Charles Lee Ray's place. He's got a strange setup here, some strange artwork. Definitely into voodoo. Nora scares the shit out of Karen at Charles' place. He tells her that Charles Lee Ray spent a lot of time with a man named John.
Does
Nora
this
says
count
he-
as a smut wall?
I don't know.
I just wonder if all these pictures are actual depictions of voodoo, and I wish we knew somebody who knew anything about that.
Smut wall is positive. This is gross. But voodoo.
Oh.
Is that
Holy shit.
How you boys doing?
from the parish he arises?
I'm back.
About damn time.
Cajun Cron.
Well, you guys stop doing so much New Orleans themed movies.
Is this like one of the top like voodoo movies? Or
They filmed these scenes in my house. These are my walls.
those are your oh shit. So it must be authentic.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your massive dong on the mural?
That's mine.
Whoa.
Everything in there was mine.
Were you like disappointed that when you found out it was like a little doll?
No, it's still voodoo in there.
Wow, I was just wondering.
The voodoo is making the doll work. It happens every day here.
I was gonna say, how often has this happened?
Sometimes 2, 3.
How many friends have you lost because of this?
To dolls,
Uh-huh.
only the weak ones. You gotta do better on voodoo than that.
Was this the saying and the like spell, the conjuring, was that spot on or?
Oh, no, you had to switch the words around or else it would come true to everyone in the theater.
Oh, I didn't think about that. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Were you worried about that like when it came out?
No, because I had gone through. I was a, production assistant.
Oh, you were actually on like the team?
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
Did you negotiate that for them using your house?
I was an advisor.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So you think highly of Child's Play?
Oh, it's very realistic.
Too bad Michael Mann didn't make this movie, because that could have, started a Hollywood career for you.
Could have had a. Oh, yeah, they said, do not put him on camera. Do not.
Did you have to go out to Chicago for this, or did you?
No,
stay
I was
in
an
the
advisor.
parish?
I will never
Okay.
leave. I can't leave.
I know. That's why I was asking.
So this crew left Chicago. They brought the entire crew down to
Mhm.
shoot in one interior at your house.
That's correct.
Damn.
They said it was terribly inefficient.
How's life been, man?
Oh, it's been topsy-turvy since the election.
What's going on?
Oh, a new gator was named president of the parish.
Oh, you're talking about the Gator election. Okay.
That's correct.
What's he doing? Is he or is
Oh.
it he?
All kinds of bad stuff, putting tariffs on moss and beignets.
Fanboat parts.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a little rough down there, huh?
Oh, it's been terrible.
We got Chris here tonight from Dead Formats.
Oh, Yankee.
I don't know if I would call
Oh,
New
you-
Mexico a
further up-
Yankee.
Further up than me.
That's true. Have you listened to any
Check-
of his
Check
stuff?
your latitudes and longitudes.
Cajun Cron, did they give you like a Chucky doll whenever this was done?
I said
good
no,
guy?
no, thank you.
Okay.
You have too many dolls already.
Where can you keep them all?
Another question is,
You run out of room.
I mean, we're gonna get to it, but the voodoo doll, does it happen that quickly? Like whenever you twist the leg and stuff?
Well, again, how good are you of a voodoo master?
It's not based off your Wi-Fi signal.
No.
Okay.
No. Years of training.
You know what? Go ahead.
I wanted to know, this movie is all Haitian voodoo, so how do you feel about them using your house for what I would assume is a bastardization of everything you believe in?
Oh, they paid handsomely. One of us can afford the tariffs on beignets.
You're still making money off of this?
Hey, what's a beignet?
Oh, it's like a little donut hole with powdered sugar on it, I think.
You think?
Yeah, I think that's what I think. What do you think they are?
You're the expert.
I thought they were like a crepe or something, but
I thought they were more of a square shape.
Well, you boys will have to come down and find out.
could just be a regional difference, right?
On beignet style?
Yeah, I don't know.
All regions
I'm
not that big.
I might just be killing time while somebody's Googling it. You know why I don't want a whole stack of dolls in my house,
Why is that?
Cajun Cron? Because I wouldn't be able to identify if there was a goddamn ET in there.
Oh, that could be. That would be scary.
I'd feel like a fool. ET in my house the whole goddamn time?
Mm-hmm.
Drinking all your beer.
Yeah. And this
You know your species.
This is why you have a no gator doll rule, right? So a gator can't try to hide amongst the dolls?
That's correct.
Okay.
They'll crawl up. They'll get in the house. And yeah, if you go to pick up your doll, you could easily lose a hand.
But I mean, if you're powerful enough in voodoo, you could put the hand back on, right?
Well, who knows how these things work?
I would think you do.
You do.
Yeah, I could do it.
Okay.
Come on, guys. He's no Rumpelstiltskin.
Never
Cajun
heard of
Cron, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll let you go. Bombarded you with way too many questions.
Should have been kicked off a long time ago.
Yeah.
Etouffee Bones, Etouffee Dad,
Etouffee.
Etouffee Chris.
Thank you, sir.
Etouffee.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cajun Cron finally back. Glad he's doing well.
That's it. I
Cron-
think that's all of our secondary characters. We got them.
Gatto's brother.
Did we hear from Kim?
Yeah. I mean,
Now we're done.
if there's one guy that hangs out on the side of roads, it's definitely a Gatto.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's dark tonight. All right, yeah, Charles Lee Ray. He spent a lot of time with a guy named John. Norris says they need to find him before Chucky does. But being the bad
Again?
little guy,
Excellent. This is my favorite thing of characterization for Detective Norris is that he was just attacked by a possessed doll. There is no scene where he's like, "You were right, Karen. Chucky's alive and we got to stop him." He's just like, "Yeah, last night I was looking up some shit about Charles Lee Ray. His name's Chucky. Maybe we should look into it a little bit more," because it's just like, I don't know. He's like the kind of guy that would never, like, vocalizing it makes it real. And he's not the type of person that would believe in walking, talking dolls. So I appreciate that scene does not exist in this movie.
Yeah, I guess I never thought about that.
You see a movie 50 plus times, you start to pick up on some
Yeah.
things.
50 plus. God damn, Christopher. All right, being this little bad guy that Chucky is, he's already found his buddy John. Chucky explains that all of the voodoo that John taught him worked. Chucky asked John why it hurt last night when he got shot by Norris. John says, "You're turning human. The more time you spend in that body, the more human you become." Chucky says, "Get me out of this." John says, "You're an abomination, and it's against nature. You did this all wrong. You used it for evil."
If he turns fully human, is he just a human that looks like Chucky, or does he become like a little Charles Lee Ray?
Well, so kind of both, because they do make him look more like Brad Dourif as the movie goes on and less like the Chucky doll. So I don't know if enough time had gone on, he might just be like a 3 foot tall Brad Dourif.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
This would kind of be kind of awesome.
They never followed that thread in any of the sequels to have a little 3 foot tall.
No. There is one of the movies where he decides, like, fuck it, I don't care about becoming human. Like, being a doll is cool because I'm now the most infamous and prolific serial killer of all time. So he does give up on, like, trying to become human at a certain point, but they never, like, get to a point where he looks like Brad Dourif.
Krana, has this inspired you to watch 2, 3, and all the others?
I mean, if I can catch them, yeah, but I don't know. I got a lot of shit to watch.
You can. They're on Blu-ray. Like, you can catch them.
Yeah.
This isn't a 9 o'clock news situation where, like, you have the one chance.
You could probably buy all of them for the price of one Rumpelstiltskin.
Well, I'm sure there's a Blu-ray pack of every Chucky movie, so.
I'm not sure if this is still true, but this is one of those, like Friday the 13th, you get a box set with the first 8, and then you have to buy Goes to Hell and X separately. But for a long time, the first one was United Artists, and I think the next 3 were Universal, so you always had to buy them separately.
All right. John says, "Yeah, you used all this for evil, and you need to be stopped." Chucky says, "I'm prepared for this." He whips out a voodoo doll of John and breaks his leg.
Looks pretty good, I think, for like a, special effect. I think it works well. Looks cool.
Yeah,
Chucky said,
fucking love this dude. This guy rules. He was only in like 5 other movies, but he's really good at fucking yelling nonsense about voodoo and then like screaming in agony. No small parts.
Chucky says, "Tell me how to get out of this body or I'll stab you." He pulls out the knife. John says, "You transfer your soul to the first person you revealed yourself to," which was Andy. Chucky finds this amusing and says it was a 6-year-old boy. I get to start over, pretty much. Chucky's got what he needed, so he stabs the doll to kill John.
Joss?
Joe's? Charles? Norris and Karen, they arrive. They find John almost dead. John tells Karen they need to stop Chucky before he transfers his soul to the kid. He says his heart is almost human, and it's the only way to kill Chucky. Back at the psych ward where Andy is staying, which is
Goddamn,
a terrible
so
place.
depressing.
Chucky
the
sneaks
doctors-
into the building.
The doctor's doing like shock treatment on him and shit.
We don't know that.
Well, later
They have the machine.
Yeah. It's fucked up, dude.
At one point in my life, I would go on the weekends and rent like a shit ton of movies from Blockbuster and just watch them. And I got One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest one time, and my mom watched it with me. And at the shock therapy session, she's like, they did that to your grandma, right? I might have told this story on this show before, and I was just like, what the fuck? So you used to leave us alone with that lady. She's like, oh yeah, she went a few times. And I was like, jeez.
Damn, that's wild.
And she's like, yeah, she was like old enough to where that was like a thing that they did. I was like, holy shit. She's like, great movie though. All right. Chucky sneaks into the building. We see Andy looking out his window, and obviously a person is dressed in the Chucky costume and running around. It's pretty sweet. Andy makes some ruckus and says Chucky's here. The doctor leaves as Andy is pleading and crying to get him the fuck out of there because he knows Chucky will kill him. Chucky
Is
sneaks.
this one of the best child actor performances
Yeah.
of all time?
Yeah.
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 It's pretty sad.
Alex Vincent is very good in this movie, and this was 1988 where kids fucking sucked.
Yeah, I think he's pretty good in this movie.
Yeah.
He comes back for one of the legacy sequels, right?
He's in 2. He might be at the end of Curse. I can't remember, but I think he is also in Cult, but he's definitely in the show like a decent amount.
That may be what I'm thinking of, him being in the show.
Somehow in the third one, they get Justin Whalen, which is like he looks exactly like him, but grown up. But I think 2 and 3 came out like 8 months apart from each other.
Damn, that's crazy.
We used to make movies here.
Mm-hmm.
Chucky sneaks in. He gets a set of keys, makes his way into Andy's room. But Andy pulls the good old sheets tucked under the comforter trick as Chucky jumps on top of him and stabs him. Andy grabs the keys, locks Chucky in the room, and escapes. Chucky heads out the window, and Andy goes to find a hiding space in an operating room. But it doesn't take too much time for our little bad guy to find Andy. He attacks him from above, knocks Andy down, grabs a scalpel. But our doctor interrupts, grabs Andy, and tries to give him a shot to calm him down. But Chucky doesn't let this happen, and he stabs the doctor and puts him through some shock therapy, which doesn't go well for the doctor.
The doctor kind of reminded me of whoever Walton Goggins plays on Righteous Gemstones. I thought they looks pretty similar.
I guess this was cut out of, like, this was the added on scene. I guess Europe cut like 13 seconds of this.
Oh, that guy's
doctor
head
getting,
smoking and shit.
Yeah.
That's
And I think the DVD cut like 7 seconds.
That's probably the most violent part of the movie, right? When they shock that guy.
Yeah. I don't know which version. When I received the Blu-ray, it was an older cover as well, rather than the animated one with like the knife. Norris and Kieran arrive at the hospital and get the news of what happened. Norris's partner believes Andy did it and says he escaped. He's already there. Norris asks if he's seen Chucky, and dude just laughs in disbelief. Karen says she's always told Andy to go home if he's in trouble, and there's a classic key under the mat situation in case he needed to get in. Well, Andy uses that because he opens the door, slams the door shut, and blocks the door. A couple in the elevator go up. They see Chucky's hitching a ride. The old lady calls Chucky ugly. And he's like, fuck you.
I feel a little stinker, dude.
A little bad guy, huh?
Yeah. See, did you think that was funny, Chris?
It's hard to say. Maybe the first 20 times I saw it. I think it's appropriate.
It just feels pretty close to Rumpelstiltskin's little hand giving a middle finger.
Yeah, but there's a whole process of earning it that Rumpelstiltskin doesn't go through.
Agree to disagree.
Wow. You're hearing it first on 5
It's funny. He gives a little middle finger, dude. You kidding me?
What if Chucky would have gave the middle finger? I don't think he does that till later on.
Yeah, he's got to do it somewhere in that thing.
I think he does it in Bride of Chucky. He flips off a cop or something, and then smokes a joint and listens to Rob Zombie.
They got that from Rumpelstiltskin, dude.
Is it more human than human?
No, it's the one that's like.
It's my favorite.
Yeah. That was good, dude.
You find Chris every week on Dead Formats. Check it out. Yeah! Andy hides in his closet with all his clothes, and he finds a weapon. It's a baseball bat. Chucky pulls a Saint Nick, comes down that chimney, starts hunting for Andy. But Andy's ready with his bat. They run into each other finally. The fight is on. Chucky gets the upper hand and knocks the fucking shit out of Andy with that bat. Karen and Norris, they arrive at the apartment while Chucky starts his voodoo spell on Andy. Our dark clouds roll in. Norris and Karen have to make it through the obstacles that Andy set up at the door. They finally do. Chucky hears this, but he keeps going with the spell. Karen attacks Chucky to stop the transfer, but Chucky slashes Norris with a knife, and he goes and hides. Norris goes after Chucky. He checks the bedroom. Chucky comes out of the closet with the bat and does some damage, knocking him out. He goes in for the death blow, but Karen shoots the little bastard. The gun jams and she makes a run for it, but Chucky follows. She falls over her own fucking furniture in her living room.
Well, it's 30% bigger than normal furniture.
That's the voodoo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Can't operate like that, dude.
I really thought that was going to go to she was going to get stuck in her own
fireplace
coffee table or some shit, and we'd go from there, but Kron got me on that one. I'll say that. All right, Chucky, he pounces on her and starts attacking her. Andy comes in as Karen traps Chucky in the fireplace. She fights to find a match. Through shock, Andy grabs the match and lights one. Chucky stops struggling and says, "Andy, please, we're friends till the end, remember?" Andy says, "This is the end, friend," and lights that shit up. Fucking mic drop, bro.
I will say this is probably... I don't want to talk shit about a 6-year-old, but that's the one bad line read. But to be fair, it's like, can anyone pull something off like that other than like an Arnold? Probably not.
I think it's okay for the movie because, I mean, I feel like it's gotten in, like more and more campy as the story has went along. So I don't know. I feel like it's just kind of fits more into the back half than the front half of the movie.
I think it works. I think Andy's finally realized, oh shit, he's not my friend.
In the original script, it was very much more Home Alone-esque. There was a whole thing of like Andy tying a knife to an RC car and ramming Chucky with it, and then spraying him with Drano with a squirt gun. Glad they didn't go that route.
He does pick up that car, like, kind of focuses on it in that closet.
Yeah, because I think they did actually shoot all of that.
I don't hate it. Sounds cool.
Well, I think he kills him by choking him with a slinky.
Too far, I guess.
Yeah.
But I like some of those ideas. You'd have to really pull a slinky, man, to get it to
Is it the steel one or the plastic?
This was 88. They didn't have plastic.
So this is steel, man. Oh, oof. Been a way to go. Bones would have been too busy trying to do the Rubik's Cube in 2 minutes.
Do you have that little timer?
He's a good, 5 minutes. He can have it.
At my best, I was getting below 30 seconds.
What do you think you are now?
5 minutes. Yeah.
I got to I can never remember the pattern for the last step.
Yeah.
Because it's you got to get a cross kind of design, and then you get all of one side. Then it gets hard after that.
It's like a 5-step algorithm, and I think it's the third and fourth one where the moves are very similar. And it always takes me a few.
This is a true story, folks.
I've
witnessed it.
That's all it is. It's just remembering a certain set of a sequence. It's an algorithm. That's all you got to do. Once you learn that,
yeah,
it's doable.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, start.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's like juggling. It's a pattern.
It's easier to remember the Konami code. You can use it on 30 different games. There's only one Rubik's Cube.
Do you think a lesser movie or a better movie would have had Andy saying this is the friend, or this is the end, asshole, and the mom being Andy, language.
You're grounded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say lesser movie.
Okay.
The Seventh Heaven version. Chucky goes up in flames and runs all over the fucking apartment. He finally burns out on the couch.
And that Dora scream, man, is doing so much work.
Very few voices more iconic than his, and laughs too. He's in it's Body Parts. Is that the movie where Jeff Fahey
Yeah.
So I watched that. I didn't know he was in it, but you just hear his laugh off screen, and it's 100% that's fucking Brad Dourif. It couldn't possibly be anyone else.
So does he voice him through the entire...
You want to arm wrestle?
He does.
It's pretty cool. So he's as important as Freddy Krueger. It's the guy,
Well, Freddy Krueger was replaced. Still hasn't had... Well, I guess with the 2019 Mark Hamill does the voice, but that doesn't count. Because the show came after that.
It just seems more like you can switch guys in and out in Friday and Halloween versus, I guess, this and Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street.
No, dude. Not Ted White, not my Jason, bro. No one lumbers like him.
Norris wakes up. Karen says Chucky's dead and tells Andy to go get a first aid kit. As Andy's on his way back, he notices Chucky is gone. He tries to tell Karen, but is tripped by a burnt up Chucky. Looks pretty good.
Uh-huh.
He stalks Andy with a knife. Karen grabs Andy and they lock the doors of one of the rooms as Chucky tries to break in. Karen does her best Shelley from The Shining here as Chucky stabs through the door. Chucky finally breaks in and Karen starts shooting. She blasts his head off, but he keeps coming. She blasts some arms and legs off, but he's still trying to come at them. Doesn't stop.
Sounds a lot like me, dude.
She stands above him. She empties the clips. Oh, Norris's partner shows up. He attends to Norris and calls for backup. Norris says the kid was right about the doll. Go look if you don't believe me. He's in the hallway. Partner examines the head of Chucky. He brings it back to the bedroom. Partner shows Chucky's head to them, starts slapping it to show him that it's not alive and that they're crazy. All of a sudden, Chucky's body bursts through the vent and starts choking the partner. They fight Chucky's body off. He tries to stand up to kill them, but Norris shoots the little bad guy in the heart and finally kills the unstoppable killing machine that is Chucky. Norris's partner finally believes him as backup arrives. Andy takes one last look at his good guy doll. We get a freeze frame of Andy looking at Chucky, his burnt up head. The end. Child's Play, 1988.
Shouldn't it? Why do they have to shoot him in the heart to kill him? They're like, you have to do that. But if you shot my head off my body, I could not.
His head's not human yet. His heart is where the humanness starts.
So that's where they come down on it. Heart is more important than...
You gotta have a heart to pump your blood to make you human.
Give you a boner.
Gotta pump blood to be human, Kron. Come on.
All right.
Gentlemen, upon further research, this was released November 9th of 1988 with a budget of $9 to $13 million. At the box office, it made $44.2 million. It was a hit. And at the cinema that month, you could catch Ernest Saves Christmas, Iron Eagle 2, John Carpenter's They Live, and 5DR's classic, Amsterdam.
Killer lineup, dude. After you've watched all those serious ones, you get to go cut loose at Ernest.
The original working title for the film was Batteries Not Included before it became known that Mr. Steven Spielberg, an unknown director, was also making a film of the same title. Then
Also
it was
a
changed.
hugely formative film for me.
I've never seen that movie.
Yeah, I've never seen that either.
Do it next year with Lil Good Guys.
Oh, shit. It was then changed to Blood Buddy, which I think is great, before settling on Child's Play. Catherine Hicks, who plays Karen, and Kevin Yeaghar, which is Chucky's creator, met on set and they were married a year later.
It's beautiful. These people found love on the set of Child's Play. It's nice.
Love is blind, dude. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
The My Buddy doll line has never recovered from the first Child's Play movie in 1988. Ron Howard, Talkie Tina from the television show The Twilight Zone in 1956, was one of the first devil doll characters in movies and television. Talkie Tina was a spoof of the real-life doll Chatty Cathy, and the
Toothy
actress
Tina.
who supplied the voice of Chatty Cathy was June Foray, also supplied the voice of Talkie Tina. Talkie Tina inspired Chucky for the Child's Play franchise, as well as the Devil Doll from the 1975 horror TV classic Trilogy of Terror with Karen Black and Chucky.
And you want to watch all these together on the show?
I just want to know if Talkie Tina was Toothy Tina's mom.
Yeah.
All right. John Lithgow, Gary
Whoa.
Oldman, and Andrew Divoff were rumored to be considered to play Charles E. Ray and voice Chucky. Despite his reputation as a hater of all things horror, Robert Ebert gave a positive review of the film. And that's all I got.
Take
for
that one
Child's
again.
Play. Robert Edgar?
Yeah, the guy who made The Witch.
Yeah, he gives it a positive review. Robert Ebert gave it a positive review.
Roger
He's a
Ebert.
hater. It's Roger. Roger Ebert.
Nailed it.
You know what? You guys can start doing your own fucking research.
John
Yeah.
Lithgow rumored. Do you know who actually did some test voiceover? Another Kron favorite. Jessica Walter.
Whoa. She was going to voice Chucky?
Yep.
That would have been interesting. I would like to see the footage of her doing line reads.
A coodle doodle doo.
Yeah.
It's a hammer, Andy. What does it weigh? 5 pounds?
Rate my box.
All right, we all locked Dan in at a 3.5. Chris, you call it a 5-star banger. Will you respect the system? 4.5. Kron, 3.0.
I'm going to go Bones, a 3.5. I don't know, man. He's seen it 50 times. Chris, 5.0.
I think I'm going to do 3.0 for both of you.
Kron Howard, I got a 3.5. Bones, I'm doing a 3.5 as well.
What about Chris?
Oh, Chris, 5.0.
Kron?
All right, guys. Child's Play. This movie, better than I remembered. I had not seen this in a while. I do think the performances are really strong. I feel like the action is done super well. We didn't really touch on it. I think burned up Chucky at the end looks super cool, where you can kind of see all the little shit moving, you know, like the skeletal system. That all looks great. So I was kind of going back and forth on this one. I like the movie a lot. I do feel like it's kind of a bummer as I was watching it. Like you kind of root for this kid and his mom, and like increasingly terrible stuff just keeps happening to them. I don't know. I mean, it's effective. Just bummed out for those two. All in all, this is a good movie. People should check this out if they haven't seen it. 3.5.
All right. This movie's structured incredibly well. Chris, you pointing out that having read the original screenplay, you think that the editing probably saved this. I think that's pretty apparent. the runtime. This thing's pretty lean and mean. I will say it does an incredible job of keeping you from being frustrated. You are on the journey with these characters. There's the appropriate hurdle to convince these adults that this child's toy is embodied by a serial killer, and the payoff is worth it. I think the climax is like 15 fucking minutes. It just keeps going, but you never feel bored. This thing launched a franchise for a reason. 3.5.
Hell yeah. I did say last week that this is a 5-star banger, but the last time I actually rated it on Letterboxd, I gave it a 4. And I do think that at times I am overly critical about a lot of things. But as I was watching this, I was thinking, like, what meaningful criticism do I actually have of this? And I don't think I have one. And for me, the difference between a 4.5 and a 5.0 is a 5.0 is something that sticks with you. And as I said earlier in this episode, this is a movie that has become part of the fabric of my being. I can throw it on at any time and enjoy it. I just don't really have anything to criticize about it. There's our 4 main leads, Alex Vincent, Catherine Hicks, Chris Sarandon, and Brad Dourif. Knock it out of the fucking park. Nobody else in the movie is probably anyone you've seen in too much, but they all know the assignment for the character that they're playing. I may be biased because it's the year I was born, but I have always thought of 1988 as a particularly strong horror movie year. Just to point out a few, other than Child's Play, you got Dead Ringers, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, The Blob remake, Hellraiser 2, Pin, Waxwork, Maniac Cop, Pumpkinhead, Slugs. It's pretty fucking stacked, but there's definitely a reason that this movie has endured and is the only one of those that is really still in the zeitgeist 40 years later. You ask someone who has never seen a Child's Play movie if they know who Chucky is, and they probably do. That is something that is incredibly difficult to do. This was the time where everyone was trying to come up with a new mascot for these mascot horror movies. We just watched one last week, Rumpelstiltskin. That did not succeed. But Child's Play did, and I think there's a reason for that. And the reason is that this is a 5-star banger.
Yeah, damn, Thank you, Chris, for joining us. Thank you for your insight and knowledge of Child's Play. Really enjoyed hearing all that. Nostalgia for me, the staple of childhood, as Bone said at the beginning, playground talk of Chucky. So it established grade school. It was people shit. It was Jason, Chucky, and I'd say it was Jason, Chucky over Freddy, but maybe that was just where I was. Acting is wonderful. I think everybody here knows what they're doing. Practicals are fucking great. It just seems so simple, but it just works so well. The voodoo, he's a serial killer. Chicago works. You feel for the family. It's got some heart there. And you want Chucky to just be a little bad guy the whole time, but I think they just give you enough of where you're like, this little motherfucker. And yeah, I think it all pays off, man. This is a 4.0 for me. It's just a fun time. Like I said, it had been a long time since I revisited, but I was fucking happy that I did, and I'll definitely be seeking out the sequels and hell, even the TV show. I hear decent things about that as well. So,
All right, dudes. Child's Play would have an average score from the four of us of 4.0. This would currently be number 16 on the big list. This would be right below Swallow at 15 and right above Castle Freak at 17.
That was a 0.5 all around, Kron.
I mean, you're getting up there with the Freak. You're doing something right, you know?
Yeah.
does he have a dick?
Just balls.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and save that screenshot as your phone wallpaper?
Me?
Yeah. Just so
All right. I'm going to recreate
you always have it. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I'll send it. Folks, we're 2 in for Lil Bad Guys. One night under the big top.
It's the other way.
2 nights under the big top.
Respect the category.
If we do that clown category, it will be, dude.
I know there was clowns added. I don't know how to add it in. Child's Play, 1988. That's what we did tonight. Fucking, there you have it. Chris, thank you so much. Please tell them where they can find you.
Anywhere you listen to podcasts, the Dead Formats podcast. I believe the tag on Instagram and Twitter is Dead Formats Pod. We recorded a week ago. I did not check to see if that's accurate, but I'm pretty sure it is. Everyone on 5 Day Rentals has been on the show, and probably like 75% of their guests have also been on the show. So if you like them or the guests that they choose, check it out.
Well, thank you, Chris, for joining us. There will be a link to his show on our episode description, so please check him out. He does great, wonderful work over there. But other than that, I think we are ready to find out how we're going to wrap up this Lil Bad Guy category. And that's on to Bones. So, without further ado, I don't fucking know. Crash and burn.
I'm just hoping Chris does the chant one more time. We'll just go out on that.
Damn, I had a surprise chambered, but you know, te due dambala, give me the power I beg of you. Lover Monsieur de Boischaillot, Sakuza Tiamo Padimor, Dadale Borte de Weste Denbilla.
Crash and burn.
Crash and burn.
All right, welcome back. Apologies on this after showers, folks. Bones not feeling too hot. Thankfully, Chris was here to just take over the show. Just please.
What do you got,
Just
dude?
take over the show from now on.
Bird flu?
I think
Measles?
it's genuine. It's probably lack of caffeine, I would say. I've gone on ad nauseum on this show about my coffee intake during the week. So if I have 1 or 2 days off, I just get a fucking pounding headache.
What prevented you from not having coffee?
Yeah, should make it at the house there.
Coffee's for closers.
Yeah. I may or may not have slept in until about 10:30
That makes one of us.
the past few days. Yeah. So by the time I got up, walked the dogs, I was like, you know what? I'm more in an orange juice mode. So it's just laziness. That's all. It's my own fault.
All right.
But goddamn, I'm so excited to be the closer for One Night Under the Big Top. Little Bad Guys. I want to say
You
Little
mean that?
Bad Dudes. What?
Do you mean that?
I am, because I think Dan's gotten a lot of flack for the game pick
Mhm.
on the last one. I think it qualifies. But
Well, this is not a puppet category.
there was a lot of heat on Bones because he picked the original Puppet Boy,
Mhm.
trying to meet the criteria of a category that just blatantly blocked out 90% of the possible movies. And I
Still-
thought it would be fun to, make a podcast that the family could enjoy and also reference what got us into this whole mess to begin with. So now I spend a whole weekend with my dudes. They talked the entire time. I just got to sit there and film it. And it was made abundantly clear that this little bad dude must kill somebody.
Mhm.
Well, I'd already had this movie prepped for the inevitable doll toy, little bad guy, if you
I'll
will.
say.
I have scrubbed through the movie. I do believe that there is a murder. But this thing is so fucking wonky looking. How could I not bring it to 5DR? We're going to 1994. Movie directed by Robert Gordon. Before I unveil the title, I want to talk about some of this guy's credits. This is his only director credit. Substantial career as an editor. He edited Return of the Living Dead and a little movie 1 year later called Toy Story.
Ah,
We're going to 1994. Robert
Another Pixar
Gordon's
tie-in, dude.
Revenge of the Red Baron. There is a beautiful rip available on YouTube. Do some digging. I'll throw it in the Discord. I'm going to read the letterboxed synopsis here. The last war will be waged not for the honor of nations, but for the love of family. The Red Baron returns in a toy plane to kill the former World War I ace that shot him down. And Dan, you brought us a movie directed by Tom Holland. One of the Spider-Men? This movie features some people's favorite Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, and some people's favorite Chinaman, Mickey Rooney.
I hope this meets all the criteria.
I take it on good authority that none of you three have seen this bad boy.
no.
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 I want to know who helped you research this.
Nobody.
Mm,
Who else would help
I d-
Bones research?
I don't know. They're going to be banned from the show, though, if I find them.
You think I had something to do with this?
No.
Who else?
This was-
there's only two people you can point the finger at.
This was a genuine find. I am so stressed. I have a panic attack about once a week, and I hide in a closet and pull up Letterboxd and just look up toy movie lists.
with this fucking RC that has a knife taped to
And
it.
for the life of me, I genuinely don't know how I came across this. I honestly think it was
Toy Story.
Yeah. You were digging in the credits of Toy Story.
Yeah. I think it was a YouTube compilation. I don't know. It doesn't matter. This is going to be a bad movie.
Say that?
I cannot wait. You said you made it 6 minutes into the movie.
Yeah. Made it 6 minutes last night and turned it off.
Well, I look forward to this becoming as ingrained into Chris's personality as Child's Play.
Tall order.
Pluser, huh?
Well,
I'm excited.
Yeah, Kron, I really do not want to let you down. If there isn't a murder, I'm gonna feel bad because as I scrubbed through, I was like, that looks like a murder. But then Dan orders the DVD, and it says Family Adventure on it. So,
I hope it meets all the criteria. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. What happens if it doesn't? Do I have to call an audible tomorrow when I watch it? And shit.
Yeah, you have to cover a puppet movie of my selection from memory.
You don't find it nice that we're
trying? Yeah.
I think you both, I don't know. I haven't even watched this movie. What?
I did Child's Play. You have never said like, man, that's a good pick, Dan.
I don't think Kron's been into any of my movies this season.
You know what I like? Pick stuff I like. You don't like Revenge of the Red Baron.
I haven't watched it yet. Right. I might get a kick out of it.
Okay.
I'm gambling. It was
fair. Hey, I've brought stuff here I've never watched before.
Okay.
So
I'll admit to some little conspiracy. Dan and I sent him a screenshot of something that I thought, I think this might be coming. And I was totally wrong. And then as it dialed in and it got a little bit closer, Dan and I were like, all right, what are we going to do? And Dan did not admit to me what he was going to do, but I sent him, I was like, this is what I'm thinking. And the look on his face of like, oh, this is trash, gave me like a little bit of hope.
I mean, it does look like trash, so...
But we're trying. That's what we want you to acknowledge that we're trying.
We just had a 5-star with fucking Child's Play. We got to balance this out. Chris, as a listener of the show, do you think that there's an importance to the category being balanced with a certain level of class to trash? Or does it not matter? It's if you get lucky and they're all good, great.
You know, I think it's just kind of a crapshoot. There's no way to really guarantee it without having watched the movies beforehand. But also, you'd have to be a mind reader and know what Kron and Dan are picking. I think there is an importance to the balance. Some people go a little too far with their criterion picks from time to time. And that's not what you want from 5DR. I mean, it's a good change of pace, but 5DR, you roll around in the muck. Mm-hmm. And what could be muckier than Mickey Rooney and Tobey Maguire in God knows what this movie actually is.
From the first 6 minutes, I fully am expecting for at the end of this movie for someone to say like, well, you know, if you just put your trust in God, then it has that vibe about it.
We just want you to be excited.
That's a tick in the pro column as far as I'm concerned.
I'm always excited, Dan, because as I've told Bones, I've listened to every episode and maybe watched 2 of the movies specifically because it was covered on the show. One of them was The Rage.
This is a good one. Do you remember the other?
Might have just been The Rage.
Just watch
Fair
that
enough.
twice.
Yeah, you watched it 2 times.
Deserving.
I gotta see why. I gotta hear about Gary Busey's mutilated dick.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Chris, schedule permitting, we'd love to have you fill out this little bad guy category with us. But come back next week, Revenge of the Red Baron. It's a big one for a big reason, folks. You'll find out next week. For Laundry Dan, for Kron Howard, I've been Bones. Thanks again to Chris. Crash and burn.
Crash and burn.
Crash and burn like the Red Baron, I guess.
Lil Bad Guys forever. Ate due Dambella, give me the power I beg of you. L'heureux mercier de bois chaillot, secouze tiem et poids de mort adele borde passe Damballa.